Good evening, good evening, good evening. Welcome to another week of conversations with the masterful raconteur. I'm going to jump on in. I had a completely different topic I wanted to talk about today, but I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to deal with this because I just felt compelled. I just felt compelled to do this subject here, this topic rather. You know, they just had the BAFTA Awards, and Michael B. Jordan and Delroy Lindo, two highly respected, very talented actors, were about to present an award or something to that effect, and then you had somebody that shouted out a racial slur. And it just kind of intrigued me, how it played out. Before I jump in and give you my thoughts on it, let me just remind you, if you don't know, I am a filmmaker, an independent filmmaker. This show is brought to you by bbinging.com, where all of my content, most of my content, a lot of my content rather, I won't say all of it, but a lot of my content is housed on bbinging.com. And I want to invite you to go and take a look at bbinging.com and check it out. In fact, my recent comedy movie, SheDaPlaya, you can watch it on bbinging. And so really, really want to invite you and encourage you to support independent films. No commercials on this platform, okay? My band, Florida Zone, we're available for booking. We specialize in old school R&B, blues, jazz. And on March the 21st, we will be bringing the Florida Storm Comedy and Jam Tour to the Cotton Club in Gainesville, Florida at 6:00 p.m. Y'all check me out, follow me on social media, and stay in the touch of everything that I got going on. And if you have any questions about anything, feel free to inbox me. If I have a cousin, his name is Squire Servance, and he's running for public office up in, I think it's New Jersey. And this brother's really, really, really sharp. I posted his resume. And I'd like for you all to check him out, because if you're in that area, you got to consider him for your vote. And if you have family, friends, whoever, organizations in that city or area, you got to at least consider him when you're talking about casting your votes. Change, times like now, all of the stuff that we really need as a community, it really goes beyond where the city that he's representing, because it's more of a national thing going on with that. So y'all check out Squire's Servance, okay? Yeah, I think that's it. Let me talk about this Tourette's versus the N-word. For those of you who don't know, like I said, Michael B. and Delroy, they were presenting an award at the BAFTA. That's a British actors. I don't remember what it stands for, but it's an award show that, if I'm not mistaken, y'all correct me if I'm wrong, but it's British. And so they were about to give this award, and this guy, I was, from what I heard on the news, the N word was slurred at them, and the producers want to act like they had no idea what was going on, that it happened, and this and that. And I don't know how you can be a producer of a show and hire people to facilitate your show, your production. And when you're doing something like this, especially on a global scale like this, you're automatically going to have all the different departments and the different roles, from security to the whole shebang. You're going to have all of those bases covered. And to say that you did not know that it happened, you can't believe everything that's on the news. But if this is true, to say that you did not realize that it happened, and something about the edited version and this and that. Either way it goes, if you're a producer of a show, you're supposed to know what's going on with your show. You're supposed to have people in positions to monitor the show, and if there's anything inappropriate that takes place, anything that is illegal in any kind of way, anything that is an issue, anything that would interfere with public relations, anything, they're supposed to manage that and report immediately to the producers. Because if the show is happening and the producers are not aware that it's happening, to me it implies that maybe you're home chilling, maybe you're on vacation somewhere. I don't know. Maybe you're not even in tune with what's going on your show for this big annual event, and you somewhere sleeping on the job, in some way. Maybe it's an excusable circumstance, but you're still supposed to know what's going on. And to say that you did not know, I was reading this article here that's from NBC News, and I'm not going to read this article out to you. I read something else here. It says that the news of the outburst was first reported by Variety, which is a media source, which was in the room at London's Royal Festival Hall as the show was being recorded. The outlet also reported that during the show, someone also shouted out, "Shut the F up," as BAFTA chair Sarah Putt, however, gave an introductory speech, and "F you" when the award for Best Children's and Family Film was being accepted. So you have two very inappropriate actions being taken by someone in the audience, and I guess there's no consequences for something like this. Now, the crazy thing is that, to me, is that the guy who did the racial slur, his name is John Davidson. John Davidson is a Tourette campaigner, and he could be heard shouting out, I guess, the racial slurs. They said, and I'm not going to say it verbatim to how they said it. I'm just going to get the point across. They said that the reason he did it is because he has, I guess, suffers from Tourette's. And it just felt like what you're saying is that if you suffer from Tourette's, it's excusable to use racial slurs, to disrespect somebody. And even worse, on national television for a big event like this. And it also seems to suggest that if you have some type of a medical condition, you are excused to do this type of thing, to have this type of behavior. Y'all think about that for a moment. What the heck does that mean? Also today I was looking at um, a video that somebody posted, and it was showing this guy who it was said that he had some type of mental health breakdown or something, and he was on an airplane, and he just went on a tirade, just punching people, just randomly punching anybody that he can punch, trying to get to the cockpit and just hitting people, hitting women, men, whoever he could hit. Like he was just going down the road, just punching people. And they said it was a mental health thing. Now, granted, that was violent. That was a physical attack on somebody. Totally not acceptable, regardless of who you are, what your circumstances are. But I have to ask myself this question. Okay, so all of these people, they had enough mental health capacity to be able to, let me go back to the guy on the plane, to purchase a ticket, to stand in line behind everybody else and behave normal, and board a plane. Okay, you had enough mental health capacity to do this. And then all of a sudden something snaps and goes wrong and you start attacking people. And at the BAFTA Awards, the Tourette's person, Mr. Davison, John Davison, he had the Tourette's, and he was capable and did so, whatever his procedure was, to prepare to go to the event and to be amongst all the people, from entry, from the parking lot, or where the entry point into the facility, to sit down with other people and probably new people and have some socialization taking place at the same time. And was doing fine until at this particular point of the show, when these two particular actors came to the podium. It is at this point that the Tourette's decided to cause him to do racial slur. I don't know, but after that, was there any more racial stuff that took place that, from John Davison? Did Tourette's make him continue to do this, or was it only at this particular time where these two very professional, successful, beloved actors, entertainers, was trying to do what they were brought there to do? Was it only at that time? So do we really blame this on Tourette's? Think about it. Maybe it has happened or is going to happen, but has this man publicly apologized for that? Did he first go and apologize to Michael B. and Delroy? Did he have his people, his agents, whoever, contact their agents and say, "Hey, look, can you put them on the phone? I would like to apologize to them." Because a lot of times when you get up on television and you apologize in that way, most of the time it doesn't ring as true as authentic, and sincere. It's like a publicity stunt. So I just wonder, so you can have a health condition. It could be Tourette's. Maybe it could be, is it exclusive to Tourette's, or can you have some other health conditions that can cause you to act out in public and disrespect somebody else, whether it's racial or like the other person just using profanity, just cussing somebody, is that where we are in this society, where you can actually do that? Because I heard that in some states, using the N-word in a racial way a deliberate racial way, you can be arrested. So, I just think that these producers, they should be held accountable. See, what they do is they try to pass the buck down to somebody else, and then they a lot of times leave it in the hands of the journalists, the media, but right now the in my opinion the producers should be stepping up to the plate and showing themselves to the public and saying, hey, look, I am so and so and so. I'm the producer of the BAFTA award show or event rather, and we had a situation that happened that we do not condone, and we feel bad about it. And we're going to do everything that we can to rectify this situation and try to ensure that it doesn't happen again. And if it does happen again, we will have certain measures in place that the person, in my opinion, should be removed. I don't know if John Davidson was removed, and if he was, I'm glad. But I haven't read that much or heard anything about it. When I listen to the news and the entertainment news, they talk about what happened. They don't talk about any consequences. So I just wonder, is that where we at? In this society where you can just disrespect somebody and say, well, I have a medical condition, and that's what it was. It wasn't me. It was my medical condition. That don't even sound right, does it? The guy that's on the plane, he's probably in jail or, maybe still in jail. Maybe would be sent to a mental health facility for some evaluation and treatment or something like that. His situation was far more severe because he was hitting somebody. But there's consequences for doing this kind of thing. And when you're out in public, you got to respect the public. You got to respect the public. If you don't, if it feels to me when you're using the N-word towards two black men and you happen to be a white person, that seems to be as racial as racial is. So you mean to tell me that's where we are now? We can just do that? We a lot of times we hold accountable these people, but who give them the opportunity to be in this situation? Them producers. I am a producer. And I'm a small scale independent producer, but anybody that's been in a production with me, they will tell you that the people who buy tickets to our shows, who attend our events, whether it's free or whether it's paid for, I value them. I tell everybody that our show is not about us. It's for the people who watch it and support it. And if they're not happy, then we did not accomplish, the whole purpose for having a production. The people always come first. So, excuse me, I'm looking for the producers of the show to step up and take some responsibility and not, just kick back and watch this thing play out and just hope that it hurry up and go away. That's what I want to see, because, and I want to see I want to know that there's some type of plan in place so that anybody do this in the future, regardless of who they are, regardless of who they know, regardless of the clout they may have, that they will be removed. That's the only way to do this. You don't let people do this because they have relationships in the industry and they have some clout with people in the industry, particularly upper level people, and if your medical condition is causing you to do this, you need to be removed because we don't know what else is going to cause you to do. If you would call somebody the N-word, maybe you might do something violent in any given moment. You could cause harm to somebody, some innocent person, maybe even cause harm to yourself. So you can't sit back and excuse this and act like it's no big deal. Oh, it will just go away. That's how we just end up having more and more people do crazy stuff and think that they can get away with it. I just I had something else completely different I want to talk about today, but once I saw this on the news, I changed up. I said, man, I just want to address this. No, I'm not no advocate, no politician, none of all this kind of stuff here, but I'm a writer. And when I write stuff, I like to be realistic, and maybe one day this situation I'll write something that have to do with these kinds of things and the kind of dynamics that take place and the different chain reactions that take place, because I always try to write positive stuff and I always try to produce positive stuff. I'm realistic. I like to deal with what really happens, and I like to put a positive spin on it, cap it off in a positive way, something like that. And you know, and I think that as producers and filmmakers, playwrights, etc., we have to some degree a responsibility to help make the world a little bit softer, a little bit better, a little bit easier, a little more pleasant, or something like that. Because if you look at the trend, what's going on now, every time something negative happens, or in some way, it just, like I say, we are what we eat. And if we keep eating this stuff, we transform. And some of us have already transformed, and some of us don't even want to know about anything positive going on. We just want to know what negative has happened now. Who was it? Where was it? You know, and I just think that that's too much. I think it's too much. So for something like this right here, yeah, I think something. I don't say the man needs to be arrested or nothing like that, but it would show some real uh, integrity and character, and maybe even some medical help, to see these people that do this type of stuff, uh, you know, apologize directly to the people who you offended first. And if you want us to continue to admire you and respect you and support your work, then you got to let us know as well. You got to follow up. Yeah. Otherwise, you've given us a reason to not see you the way you want us to see you, and to not support you in the way that you would want us to support you. So yeah, there's some real responsibility that comes with these kinds of actions. And I don't think that you can afford uh, to overlook that. This is real stuff. So that's what I wanted to address today. And maybe, like with everything that I talk about, um, my hope is that it will create some conversation. It will have some kind of trickle over effect, and that it will kind of challenge people or provoke people to use their minds, because it's just like when you get mad and you do something and you wasn't thinking, and then after that has happened, then now you're thinking. Sometimes we can avoid some stuff by just having conversations with the people closest around us, and kind of modify some of our attitudes and some of our behaviors and stuff like that, because there's just so much negative stuff that's going on everywhere, wherever you are. I don't care where you are, what small town, big city, any size in between. At any given time, something really, really bad can take place, and you could be right in the middle of it. It's not always just seeing it on television and say, oh my goodness, that was bad. And you see the people that was affected by it. It could actually be you and me. It could actually be us. So, everybody should consider doing something that's positive, some kind of way. Because once we let racism get worse than what it is, it's going to affect everybody in the worst way, either way you look at it. Either way you look at it, racism is going to have a negative effect on every single person either way you look at it. That's all I want to talk about for today. Florida's own Barrios McLeod. Truly the right kind of different. Y'all continue to be blessed. Have a good one.